Being a freelancer can be difficult because of all the day-to-day aspects of your business that you have to manage yourself. Notion is one of the best all-in-one tools for everything from clients, projects, documents, business plans, and more. In this video, we'll be giving you a Notion tour of our ultimate freelance dashboard and client portal Notion template. If you find this useful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Let's first start with a brief overview of this template. So when you first open up the Ultimate Freelancer Dashboard and Client Portal, you'll notice the following sections. So at the top, we have our projects, and in the project, you can keep track of things such as your client's name, the dates, and what kind of status it's in, and as well as connected to your client portal if you're working on a project with a client. Underneath here, we have our task inbox, so you can keep track of your day-to-day tasks. And then under that, we have a calendar where you can also connect it to Notion Calendar just to keep track of important events coming up. Then on the left-hand side, we have a navigation bar here where you can access all of these pages, which we'll go over in more detail later on in this video. And underneath here, we have the databases, which we store here. Make sure not to delete them or this template is not going to work. Let's now briefly just go over how you would use your dashboard in your day-to-day operations. So here we have our projects, as we mentioned, and basically if you just open one up, you can see everything about the project, like the overview, tasks, and notes. And you can also add a project by clicking here, and you can see all your projects that you haven't started and all the projects that you've done. And then here we have a task inbox. If you want to add a new task, you simply just click a new task and you can type new task and add anything here. When you finish the task, you can simply tick it off and then it goes into the complete section. So you can just use this as a simple sort of to-do list. Then here we have our calendar. You can click plus new event to add a new event. You can add a date. You can add event. You can add meeting links, tags, such as what kind of event it is, as well as tag it by your clients and contacts. So now that we've briefly gone over the dashboard, we're just going to go into each of the individual sections of this template. So first, we're going to go into clients and contacts. And the first thing you'll want to do when you are starting to use this template might be to add your new clients and all of your contacts. So let's say that you just found a new client. So we can click plus new client and we can name them new client. And the first step for you would be that they go through a discovery call. So you could put discovery call here. You can even add the initial contact date, their email, phone, address. You can also tag them later to different projects and client portals. And you can also archive them later if let's say that they don't go through with this project. So if we click out, we see our new client here. So as you go, you can move them along this path and really keep track of your client's progress. And if you, let's say, want to change these types of sections here, you can also do that by clicking here. And let's say that you wanted to add a new status. You could put new status and click one open. And you'll see it here. So if you want to actually reorder it, you could go to the three dots here and you can go to group and reorder the statuses this way. So this is how you would do it. If you don't want to see it anymore, you can also hide it like this. So next, let's go over all contacts. So up here is your clients. So we wanted to keep your clients separate from all of your other contacts that are related to running your business, such as your financial advisor or marketing assistant. So here we can put those here, and then you can also see them in table view if you don't want to use the gallery view. So basically, if you want to add a new contact here, you just click plus new contact and you can type new contact person. You can choose what kind of person it is. Maybe it's a business coach, and you can add their email, phone number, address, link, description, and more. So if you wanted to add more properties, all you have to do is click plus add a property. And you can also collect notes about the person if you need to jot something down. So next, let's go into the client portals. So in the client portal, you can basically have a space for both you and the client to keep track of different information together. So if we go ahead and click plus new portal, you can open up a new client portal home, and you can tag the client inside here. You can tag different projects here, and you can set a start and an end date. We'll be covering the client portal section in more detail towards the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and actually tag the client here with the new client that we just made. So you can see that new client portal home has new client as a client. Next, let's go ahead and go to our projects. So here's where you can add a new project. So we can go ahead and click plus new project. And before adding a project, we would recommend you to already have the client and client portal set up so that you can easily tag them in here. But of course, it kind of depends on the way that you're working with the client. If you don't need a project here, that you're simply working one-on-one on something that's not project related, that's also okay. So we would put the new project here. You could put the dates with the end date like this. And you can tag the client here, such as new client. And we just created the new client portal home. And inside here, you can add your project overview, your tasks relating to this project, as well as notes relating to this project by simply clicking plus new task like this, task for project, and it's inside new project. So you'll see it here. And same with the notes. If you have any notes about the project you want to store, you can simply click plus new note about project. And we can go back to the project and you'll see that we have a note here. Let's say they're prep notes and the tasks here. And you won't see it here until you actually put this in progress. So if we go to not started, you can change the status to in progress and it's going to show up here. And if you wanted to archive it, you can go here. If you want to add a cover photo, you can easily do that by clicking add cover and change cover. And you can go to Unsplash for a huge stock image catalog. So let's go with something relating to productivity like this. And we can put some image here. So our next section is notes. So if we go to notes, you can see the note that we just added relating to our new project. You can also add notes throughout the day that's unrelated to your project simply by clicking plus new note here. And let's say that you just want to brain dump. You can add your notes inside here. You can add a type like brain dump like this, and it's going to go in here. And if you want to make sure to review your notes after you wrote them, you can also use this checkbox here for reviewed or not reviewed. So if you click here, it's going to go out of your needs review column and into the view all section. So next we have the section for tasks. So if we go to tasks, you can see the task that we added for our project here. That's tagged with the project. But you can also add new tasks throughout the day that's unrelated to those projects. So if we just had take out garbage task and we had a task just for household, you can also do something like this. So it doesn't have to be related to your freelancing, but it could just be used also for just simple task management. And if you do have some kind of, for example, client tasks, onboard client, you can also tag it with the new project like this and add a date. So here you'll see it by no due date, by date, and complete. So next we have our calendar. And in the calendar, you can add new events as we just showed. And inside events, you can add things like tags. So if it's an admin thing, so let's say that you wanted to tag your marketing assistant here, you could click here and tag Jane Smith, who's your marketing assistant. And you can have a marketing strategy call like this. And you can even add the meeting link here. So it's really easy. Meeting link like this. And you can see everything here. The other thing to note is that you can open this in Notion Calendar. And then you can basically see your Google Calendar with your Notion Calendar all in the same space. So the next section is finances. So if we go here, you can see a very basic tool to keep track of your finances. So you can, for example, generate a new invoice. So if we just click new invoice, we could generate a new one. And you'll have to fill in, for example, the invoice number, the customer name, your items, totals, bank details, and so on. And if you want to set up this template, you can go to the blue button here and then go to the three dots here and then click edit. And you can edit the details of this so you don't have to re-enter the bank details each time, for example, and so on. So be sure to edit it if you're interested in issuing the invoices like this. And if you want to actually use the invoices as a PDF after you have created it, you can open one up And basically you can go to the three dots here, and then you can go to export and basically export it as a PDF, and then you can use that as your invoice. If you don't want to use our invoice template, you can also just put the price, the client, and then you can also add simply a file here from your invoicing software if you want to keep track like that, and just so that you have a record here for yourself. Then underneath here, we also have finances, and these are also very basic finances. So if you wanted to just simply add new income, new expenses, add your receipts, all these kinds of things can also be done here. And let's say that you want to add a new expense, you can simply click plus new expense. And let's say that you have an epidemic sound subscription, you can add something like that. And then make sure to put negative number for expenses. So let's say it's -15, you paid it on the 3rd, and you could add your receipt and tags and then click out and you'll see this number here. The reason is because let's say that you got a new income from one of your clients. So let's say plus new income. So payment from client 400. And let's say that that also came on the 3rd. Then what's cool is that you can actually see by month your expenses and income together. So you can see that you've profited $85 here. And you can see this month your income was 100, expense was 15, and so on. So this is just a very basic tracker that you can use to sort of calculate your expenses and income. So the next section is the business section. So if we go to business here, you can see your business plans and reviews. So you can do things like business planning, monthly reviews, quarterly reviews, and yearly reviews. If you click new business plan, you can add a new one here, and everything starts out as a draft. So once you have really made sure that everything looks good and you've made your plan, you can move this into current. So if we go here, you can see it inside drafts, and when you're ready to publish, you can simply go to draft and change it to current. And when you do that, you can go here and then change your old one into archive. So let's say this one's old, so we're going to put it into archive. So this way you always see your current ones. You can see the drafts you're working on. And if we click, for example, monthly review, you can see the template for monthly review here as well. And quarterly and yearly look pretty similar. And of course, you can also customize this the way that you want to do your monthly, yearly, and all these reviews and planning by going to the blue button here and editing the one that you wish. So let's say you wanted to edit the business strategy plan. You can go here and edit and basically change all of these to match the way that you want to do your planning. Under here, we have important documents. So these are things like your brand kit, your business registration documents, all the important documents you want to keep track of. You can add here with your file, and also document URL if it's a URL file. And if you want to add a new one, you just simply click plus new document. Let's say that this is your tax ID registration. And it could be some kind of business related. And you could add your files here. And as you can see, you can embed also documents here like Google Docs and PDFs. So the next section is marketing. So if we click marketing here, you can see a page for all of your marketing needs. So for example, you can keep track of all of your social media platforms here with your channel name and what platform it is. If we open it up, you can see, for example, Facebook with the URL. You can also see the description as well as a marketing calendar to see all of your posting schedules. And if you want to add a new platform, you can simply click plus new platform, and we can put new platform here, put the URL of your channel, and you can just see your marketing calendar, and it's going to appear here. And up here we have our marketing goals. So if you have specific goals in mind, you can always add them here, for example, monthly or weekly, depending on your needs. And then underneath here, we have our marketing calendar. So if we add plus new marketing event, let's say that we have a social media post coming up, and we can put today. The tag could be social media post. You can also add new tags here, your marketing platforms. So let's say it's going to go on Instagram and Facebook. And then you can put information down here as well. And then you'll see it here. When it's complete, you can take it off so that you can see that it has been posted. And if we now go to resources, You can add different kinds of resources like articles you find online that could help your freelance business. So in a sense, this can be a great place to keep your ideas and notes and anything else that you might find based on outside resources. So if you want to add a new one, you can click plus new resource, and let's say that you found a really interesting book about business, and it could be a book, and category could be business, and you can add your files and media or URL here so that you can really keep track of it. You can read it later and you'll see your book here. You can see it by category as well and by type. So now let's go back to our client portal. So if we go to client portals, we can open one up just to give you a tour of what your client would see when you share a client portal with them. So if we open up the new client portal home in full page, which is what we recommend, then you'll see that first of all, the client portal is tagged by the client, the project, and you can see the start and end date. And then you can add a welcome message here for your client with your signature. And you can add tasks for the client to complete here. So you can see incomplete, complete. So complete onboarding, for example, or it could be make first payment. And you can also add a due date and add it to your project schedule. So it's going to be incomplete here until they finish it. And this way you can really keep track of the tasks and make sure that you and the client are on the same page. The next section is the project flow. So here you can outline the steps it's going to take to get to the end of the project. So whatever step 1 is, and then how long it's going to take. And you can also open it up to see what kind of deliverables step 1 would entail, the notes and tasks relating to step 1 that you would need your client to complete. And it's also going to show the task completion here. So basically, then we can also see the past project schedule, a timeline of it here. So if we go here, you can see that each one connects to the next, a month view, a week view, and a view all. So before sharing this with your client, we would recommend you to finish completely filling these in so that you have the entire project flow set up. And then if we go to project overview, this is a space where you can also have some special message here, as well as a description of the project, expected deliverables, how to navigate the portal, and how they can reach you. Then if we go to our schedule, you can again see the step-by-step process for the schedule. And also if you need to make meetings with the client, you can also post them in here and also show them how to book a meeting with you so that everyone is on the same page. So the next one is the tasks. So here you can see all of the tasks relating to the client. And after that, we have our message board. So the message board is a space for communication between you and the client. So if you or the client needs to add a new message, they can simply click plus new message. And let's say need help with the client portal. And you can see who created the message, the type of message, and you can also close it when it's done. And you could answer it here like this, so that you have this kind of back and forth communication stored on the message board. The next one is the payments. So here you can add the payment policies, accepted payment methods, and you can add different kinds of payments here so that they know exactly what they need to pay. So if we click here, let's say that the item is first installment and it's 1, quantity and price is 100, and you can add a task percentage if you need and a due date like this, and they can choose the payment method and add an invoice, and then it can go from invoice pending to paid so that everyone's on the same track about payments. The next section is contract. So here you can upload the contract that should be signed, and then the signed contract can go here. Next, we have resources. So in the case that you want to share some kind of resources with your client, you can simply add them here. After that, we have questionnaires. So here you can add your surveys for your client to complete, let's say after the project is over, so that they can give you a feedback on it. And we have already included an empty template here that you can use. So if we click one open and it's an empty template, you can add your question here and they can answer through here as well for this. And you can add a due date for this questionnaire. And basically, if you want to edit it, you can go to this part here, edit, and edit the main template. We would recommend you to do this through editing the main client portal, which we'll show you very soon. But this is also one way to edit it if it's very specific to this one client. And then we have an FAQ section where you can add all of your FAQs. So that's basically the tour of the client portal. And once you have everything set up, you would want to actually share it with your client. So if you want to share it with your client, we would recommend you to make sure that your client has a Notion account. And once they do, then you can invite them using that email address. So if we go to share, you can basically add their email here and invite them into this space, and make sure to give them all access rights so that they can access the full template and make sure that they can also collaborate with you. So now you might be wondering, how do you edit the client portal template? So in order to do that, it's very important to do it through this blue button here. So if we go to the blue button here and you go to the three dots, you can edit this database template. And any edits you make here whenever you create a new client portal is going to be reflected in all of your new ones. So if we open this up, you can now change things like your welcome message, your project overview, default content, questionnaires, and things that should be there by default. You can actually edit inside this page. And when you're done, you can click back. And then you can click out of it. And anytime you create a new client portal through here or through here, it's going to reflect this new change you made through the blue button. And it's really important to remember that all the old client portals are going to still maintain whatever the status was before with your client portal template. So you'll have to make sure to create new ones in order for it to reflect the changes you made through the blue button here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in this template, we'll leave the link in the description below. Let us know if you have any questions or comments, and we hope to see you all in the next video.